So I kind of have some big news to share. I am beyond thrilled to announce that I am participating in a second anthology this year with First Coast Romance Writers. It releases on September 20th and it's called An Autumn Embrace. Woohoo! We're giving you 5 delicious stories. They're all spicy romance with forced proximity, which means that the hero and the heroine, that some sort of circumstances is forcing them together, and you're going to love it. My contribution to this anthology is Ghostly Intentions. It is another Halloween witchy business series. And I'm in celebration of this announcement, I'm going to give you a sneak peek into chapter 1. The Maine family cemetery was exactly as Nanette Laurent had always imagined and craved, singing with 7 generations of powerful buried magic. As she sat in its prickly, thirsty grass, she could hear the dissonant legato of all the poisons they'd brewed, the winding adagio of all the machinations they'd planned, and the stabbing staccato of all the enemies they'd slain, as present as the physical manifestations of the ancestors themselves. They glared at her, frowning with a steady permanence that only the dead could possess. Strangely, though, the majority of their annoyance seemed fully reserved for their grandson, great-grandson, and nephew respectively, Colton Maine. Your family doesn't approve of you bringing me here. Intent on keeping her wits, Nanette faked another sip of tangy raspberry lemonade hard seltzer, her favorite. She had to give Colton props for attention to detail, if not honesty. But she hadn't expected honesty, not from a Maine. Then again, she hadn't expected attention to detail, not from Colton. "What are they saying?" he asked. The wary baritone of his voice had always reminded her of the delicious friction of sand, worn to a fine grit under the beating surf. Ghosts don't have vocal cords, so it's less what they're saying and more how they're scowling. It didn't escape her notice that, despite his many sips, Colton hadn't cracked open a new can either. "When you invited me to pregame before this year's All Hallows Eve celebration, I thought your party would be a bit more widely attended." Colton released a gusty sigh. Me too. His glowering grandmother, the late Janine Catherine Maine VI, hovered menacingly above her grave and shook her head, blatantly aggravated by her grandson's party planning abilities, or lack thereof. Did his ancestors know Colton's true motivation for inviting her here on Halloween night of all nights? Nanette may have had her own motivations for accepting his invite, but that didn't mean a girl couldn't dream of more. What she wouldn't give for a little insight into the tempting, untapped enigma that was Colton Maine. Careful, Nanette reminded herself. In a place as ancient and powerful as this, if desired deeply enough, even unspoken wishes have a tendency to manifest, often with unintended consequences. I hope you enjoyed the sneak peek, and that you keep your eye out for the release of An Autumn Embrace, releasing on September 20th. Have a good one.